of control.
Shifting our focus now to some more breaking news coming in. Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness has ordered a mandatory evacuation of low-lying areas as the island prepares for Hurricane Melissa to make landfall. Shelter orders are also in place in the country and all public schools have been moved online. The two international airports, Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston and Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay, have also shuttered, suspending all operations over the weekend. Aditya Vadavan is joining us for more on this story. Aditya, take us through these orders in Jamaica where Hurricane Melissa is all set to make landfall.
Well, absolutely, Malvika, to see, due to this Hurricane Melissa, there have been closure of schools and every other public places as a precautionary measure. And, going forward, we could expect the same, indeed, the situation is getting very, very tense as far as the Jamaica Islands are concerned, because this area, particularly this Caribbean Islands area, is definitely very, very prone to hurricanes. So indeed, we could expect some major precautions taken by the concerned authorities, and definitely there is also a risk to Cuba as well, as far as this hurricane is concerned. Yes, Malvika.
Stay with us, Aditya. We're getting some more breaking updates on this story. Hurricane Melissa will bring catastrophic and life-threatening flash flooding to Jamaica, says the National Hurricane Center. The US-based group expects between 15 and 30 inches of rainfall to hit Jamaica, with extensive rain in Cuba and the southeastern Bahamas, bringing numerous landslides as the hurricane hits Jamaica. Destructive winds of up to 130 meters per hour or 209 kilometers per hour are expected to cause power cuts and isolate communities. Storm surges of up to 13 feet external above ground level are also likely, with smaller surges in southeast Cuba. It's a similar story in Haiti, Dominican Republic and southeastern Bahamas, with the Hurricane Center warning of life-threatening flash flooding and landslides. Aditya continues to be with us. Aditya, it's not just Jamaica but multiple other neighboring regions and areas have also had warnings issued. Take us through these warnings that has been issued by the National Hurricane Center.
Well, absolutely. The warning has been issued by the National Hurricane Center, and indeed, there is a threat, for complete threat for the Jamaican islands, and indeed, it needs to be seen. What when this Hurricane Melissa will land, to what extent will there be the damage? So all the precautions are being taken in advance so as to prevent any untoward incident, and going forward, we could see how things unfold in this scenario as far as the Hurricane Melissa is concerned. It is at this juncture, the situation is very tense. The ground operations, the evacuations are going on around these Caribbean islands and Cuba, and it needs to be seen from here on how things unfold, as the day progresses. As to all these measures are being backed up, so as there is a minimal damage when this Hurricane Melissa lands. Yes, Malvika.
Stay with us, Aditya. In some more breaking updates, a United States Air Force plane from the 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, known as the Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunters, flies into the eye of Hurricane Melissa as the Category 5 hurricane approaches Jamaica. Jamaican officials have called on the public to get to higher ground and shelters ahead of the storm's arrival, with the Prime Minister warning it could be hugely destructive. Aditya Vadavan with us on the broadcast. Aditya, take us through this US airplane that is all set to fly into the eye of the storm as the administration, of course, continues to battle this approaching hurricane.
Well, absolutely. This is a sort of assistance. The US airplane is definitely now, showing an aerial view as to how the preparations are going on around the Caribbean islands, because, in proximity, it is very close it's very, very close to the Caribbean islands, and it needs to be seen from here on how things unfold, in this regard. And indeed, all precautions are in measure, and it needs to be seen from here on how things unfold in this scenario. Yes, Malvika.
Stay on with us, Aditya, and some more updates coming in. Hurricane Melissa is expected to make landfall in Cuba Later today, Melissa also expected to make landfall in eastern Cuba late Tuesday as a powerful hurricane. A hurricane warning was in effect for Granma, Santiago de Cuba, Guantanamo and Holguin provinces, while a tropical storm warning was in effect for Las Tunas. Up to 20 inches, that is 51 centimeters of rain, were forecast for parts of Cuba, along with a significant storm surge along the coast. Cuban officials said that they were evacuating more than 600,000 people from the region, including Santiago, the island's second largest city. Aditya Vadavan continues to be with us. Aditya, take us through these details that are coming in with regards to the hurricane expected to make landfall in Cuba later on today.
Well, definitely, as far as this hurricane that is expected to make a landfall in Cuba, we could expect some major, preparations going on. There is a risk, already an emergency sounded for this Hurricane Melissa, and indeed, in the times to come, we could expect the same, and it needs to be seen, how the preparations are being done and to what extent will the preparations avoid an untoward incident. Yes, Malvika.
Of course, Aditya, and take us through these preparations being made by the administration. As we saw, it's not just Jamaica, but Cuba and multiple other countries are also expected to bear the brunt of this hurricane. What is being done by the administration? We've just seen around 600,000 people are to be evacuated in Cuba alone.
Well, absolutely. All these evacuation processes have been starting in these nearby countries also, because they are also at a complete risk, Cuba and the nearby neighboring countries. Indeed, it is a very Herculean task for them, to just carry out these evacuations. And it is expected that, a major breakthrough as far as the rescue operations are concerned. We could expect some major preparations from their side. And definitely all countries, the neighboring countries, are gearing up to prevent any untoward incident in this regard. Yes, Martha.
Well, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us with all of those details. Shifting our focus now, the Election Commission's decision to launch a nationwide special revision of electoral roll has triggered sharp political reactions. The DMK and Trinamool Congress allege it's a BJP-backed move to delete legitimate voters, while the BJP calls it a necessary cleanup. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has called for an all-party meet to discuss the issue amid mounting opposition criticism. Meanwhile, my colleague Belly Thomas has spoken to Bengaluru South MP Tejasvi Surya on the nationwide SIR filing. Take a look.